Hey, second graders. Yesterday we talked about the purpose of inventions, and today we're talking about important inventions and how inventions can solve problems and help us with everything in our lives. Today I'm going to share a story with you called Everyday Inventions Inspired by Nature, written and photographed by Samantha S. Bell. As you can see, this is a chapter book, so it's too long to go through the entire text together today, but we are going to be focusing on some inventions from around the house and how nature has inspired those types of inventions. We'll also talk about echolocation and how animals have inspired inventions to help people who are blind. And then we'll do a little wrap up at the end. If you're interested in reading the entire text, it is on Epic. So if your teacher uses Epic, they could send you the information to get to read the entire thing. So let's go ahead and get started. An invention is a new product, process, or way of doing something. Many inventions make certain jobs easier to do. Others help solve specific problems. One way inventors and scientists are solving problems is through biomimicry. In this process, scientists use nature as a guide. First, they observe patterns in nature. Then, they create designs that are similar to nature's designs. Nature has inspired many everyday objects around the house. For example, in 2011, one inventor studied cat's claws to create a safer thumbtacks. When you think about a thumbtack, it's like those push pins that you can put into a wall to hang something. Regular tacks have sharp pins. They're easy to drop on the floor where people can step on them. The pins on the new tacks can be drawn in, similar to the way a cat retracts its claws. That's pretty cool. In this design, a sheath covers the pin. The sheath is made of a rubber-like plastic. The pin stays tucked inside the sheath until pressed into a hard surface. Other scientists studied the feet of geckos. These small lizards can climb up walls. Geckos have stiff tendons on their toe pads. These tendons help the gecko grip surfaces. So when you think of like maybe Spider-Man and how he crawls up walls, kind of similar to how a gecko crawls up. Gecko's toe pads also have millions of tiny hairs. To climb, the gecko places its toe pad on a surface. When it pulls the toe back, the hairs stick to the surface. The hairs unstick when the gecko pulls in a different direction. Most adhesives are gooey or soft. In 2012, geckos gave scientists a new idea. The scientists created a stiff adhesive. So adhesive is another word for glue, and stiff means it's really hard to bend or move. It's very rigid. So in 2012, scientists were inspired by geckos to make a very strong glue. The adhesive is so strong that one small piece can hold up to 700 pounds, but it can still be removed easily. The material peels off when pulled upward. That kind of reminds me of like 3M strips, if you've ever used those on walls. Sounds kind of like that. I wonder if it's that. Thanks to cats and geckos, thumbtacks and adhesives are safer and easier to use. Plants and animals are nature's engineers. They are able to adapt and thrive on Earth. They do not harm their environments with waste or pollution. Many scientists believe inventions should work more like the natural world. Wow, that's inspiring. What do you think, second graders? Okay, we're going to skip ahead to learning about echolocation. Many people who are blind use a cane to get around. One scientist is studying bats to make a new type of cane. Bats use a process called echolocation to navigate in the dark. As a bat flies, it makes sounds through its mouth and nose. When the sound waves hit objects, they create echoes. The bat uses the echoes to create a map of its surroundings. The new cane will work in a similar way. That's cool. The cane sends out ultrasonic waves. Some of the sound waves will sense large, stationary objects And stationary objects are objects that don't move. Other sound waves will sense smaller, fast-moving objects. The waves hit an object and bounce back. Then the cane vibrates. The vibrations tell the person where the objects are. And if you look at the caption below, it says people who are blind use probing canes to sense objects. Soon, these canes may become more advanced. So we've seen two examples of how nature has inspired inventors to create things to help solve problems and help people with their everyday lives. So if we jump back to the beginning of the text, you can see we read about house inventions and we also read about echolocation. Again, like I said, if your teacher uses Epic, they can send you the information, or you're welcome to search for the book Everyday Inventions on your own so you can read the rest. But I want you to think about and look out your window and start to wonder, what can you be inspired by in nature for an invention? Thanks for listening.